Good morning, good morning. It is extremely hot. It's 90 degrees in New Jersey. It is very, very hot. How is everybody doing? Happy Monday. So today I have my red t-shirt. It says, "Don't argue with me." And we are going to talk about love and to be loved and to be accepted. So this past weekend, we had a memorial celebration of a friend of ours that died probably 10 years ago. And this friend of ours was a loved person by the community. He was a people person, he was a mobilizer, and above all, he liked to dance a lot. So on Saturday, his family had an event to remember him, and we did a lot of dancing. I was out until 5 a.m. We could not leave the place because they had a live band. It was so nice. And you know something I really thought about as we were all having a good time there? The guy has been gone for the past 10 years. But this guy was loved by a lot of people. And it had me thinking how a lot of us want to be loved. We want people to love us. Or we want to love someone, but we end up being so disappointed because we just don't feel like we have a belonging with someone. I mean, it's so sad that in the African culture, we tend to celebrate people that are gone more than when they're living. But this particular guy was a guy that celebrated people. When he met you, he would greet everybody personally. So you have like that personal connection with this guy. He was like a loving person. And I always said, I really felt for his wife back in the day because his house always had visitors. I mean, there was no time he didn't have visitors. And he used to live in a place where people could just stop by. I mean, like all of a sudden, oh, I was just passing here around here. I know you live here. I just wanted to say hi. This particular person was a people person. And I'm sure it took a toll on his wife because you know what? His house was always open. And if you're married to such a person, how are you not just going to make a dish? How are you not just going to welcome the people? So I believe in his home, 24/7, there was somebody stopping by. Please tell me you can hear me. Today I didn't even put the music because I just want to talk about this love thing. So, and people felt that he loved them. So in the process, if the wife had to give a speech today, or if he was leaving, he will tell you he made a lot of sacrifices to accommodate these people that he loved and the people that loved him a lot. He had a belonging and he made people to feel like, oh, they were so important. Each one of us felt so important. And when my friend Ben died, it was so painful. He died here that I wasn't able to attend his funeral. But fast forward, when I was able to go to Kenya, I went all the way to his home with my husband to go just pay respect on his graveside. He was taken back home. I went there and I sat there and I had a conversation with Ben because Ben was among the first people when I came to America that I met. You know, he used to like to dance. And he would tell me, Penny, let's go dance, you know? And that's what I wanted to hear as a young person. I'm like, oh my goodness, where is the party? So every time I saw him, he was like, where are we dancing today? I bet you he made a lot of sacrifices for people, you know? And when we don't find love or when we are not able to love, we end up going into depression. We end up living in isolation. We end up, abusing drugs. We end up like having so many diseases because we don't have a belonging or we don't feel loved by people. And as we celebrated this guy today, on Saturday, I just said, you know what? We all need to love someone. We need to be intentional. We need to make those sacrifices. We need to go above and beyond to make at least one or two people to feel loved. If it's Nancy, I'll be like, oh, Nancy, how are you? Can we do lunch? This guy went above and beyond. I don't even know how he did it, but when he was living, he did it. Let's fast forward. Back in the day, there was no social media. When Ben was around, Ben was not using Facebook. He was not using Instagram to get likes and comments and following. There was nothing like that. He did real people face to face. He went to different states. People came from other states. When he passed away, his funeral, we could not even accommodate the people that came from different states. Back in the day, we used to have face-to-face relationships. So what I want to say about relationships that we are building on social media, don't be deceived by Facebook likes and comments and people who you talk to that are not real people. We need to build real face-to-face relationships. If, for instance, I'm sick, I'm in the hospital in Mount Holly, people on Facebook can give me that emoji to care. They can like my page, but they are not going to come and make a meal. They are not going to come and take me to the doctor's appointment. They are not going to come and make sure that my feet have been massaged. When Ben was living, Ben had face-to-face relationships. So I figured today we should talk about that and just remind people that as much as we're enjoying Facebook, as much as we're enjoying social media, try as much as you can to have a belonging locally where you live. The people that are in your own community, your family members, your friends, people that you can see face to face. Let us not get lost in the social media friendship, likes and comments. People that are far away, they are very nice. Eventually we meet them, but we have to fly away. We have to take a train. We have to take a bus to meet these people. But where you are, whoever you're married to, invest in loving that person. Whoever you are cohabiting with, invest in loving that person. And how you're going to do it is by accepting that person that you're with. I'm not saying accept somebody who's abusing you. We have to make the sacrifices to meet them halfway. There are things I want my husband to do sometimes. Some of the things I really need to come to a realization that, you know what, this is not going to happen. We always have a tendency to love and care for people who are outside than the people that we deal with every day. But the people that you see face to face are the most important people. Not the people that you are seeing on Facebook, not the people that you work with. Some of them you don't really see them. Let us start with our children, our aunties, our uncles. Face-to-face relationships. And as we remembered Ben this weekend, that was the most important thing I thought about as we danced away. We stayed there and we just didn't want to leave that place. Ben had face-to-face relationship with people, one-on-one. When I met him, I knew he was talking to me. Penny, how are you? How is Abu? If Abu is not there, how are the children? Our children when we are going to birthday parties, we used to meet at the park. There is no one person this guy didn't have a relationship with face-to-face. So as we are building face-to-face relationships on social media, like online, try to have face-to-face relationships. Love people. Allow yourself to be loved. Put yourself in a situation. Let somebody love you and accept people. If you accept people the way they are, don't try to change people so they love you the way you want. Accept them. And they will love you the same way you are. And we all need a belonging. That's why when children are born, they cry until you hold them, until they'll calm down. After they cry, what do? You feed them, you give them food. The children keep you awake. When the children are small, we make a lot of sacrifices for them. Why do we stop loving our children after they have grown to a certain age? We don't love them anymore. Miss Cindy, how are you? We have to do that collab. And then when the kids turn a certain age, we stop giving them that affection. Everybody wants that love, affection, somebody who can tell you things are going to be okay. So we care for the kids. Even in marriages, you find that the first year of marriage, the second year of marriage, people are so caring and so nurturing. And then when they go to year 5, year 6, they start taking each other for granted. We all want to be loved. We all want somebody to love. And we want to have a belonging, a face-to-face belonging. We can only do that if we accept each other. And as we remembered Ben this weekend, it was so nice to celebrate Ben, but it's so unfortunate that Ben was taken away from us. But he was a person that put people together. You have to be that person who meets people at their level. Don't try to change them. Meet them at their level. Love them the way we love children. Make those sacrifices. Go do lunch. Go do a walk. Do something. Drive. Fly. Make that time for that person you love. And just remember that we all want to be loved. We all want to love someone. And we can only do that if we love, if we start accepting each other and having those face-to-face relationships, not online. The online is good until you meet, but before that, build relationships locally. Cheers. And please, if you not like my page, do that. Share this video. And please encourage one person today, this week, to make a sacrifice, to love somebody. Make people that are around you to feel special. When you meet them, say hello to them. Give them your time. Cheers.